Welcome back to GamecocksOnline.com. I am joined today by head volleyball coach Scott Swanson and senior middle blocker Jacqy Angermiller. And Coach, we'll start with you. A big weekend to get the season going. A 3-0 weekend at the College of Charleston Invite. What are your overall thoughts on the weekend and playing three tough opponents that kind of brought out different sides of the team over the weekend?
Well, it was obviously great to sweep all three teams. It was an opportunity for us to give a lot of different people experience. We have 17 players on our roster, and all 17 got some time out there. We got to rest some people that, maybe had a sore knee or just, we had the luxury of having depth in positions. We probably, played a little less than sharp our first match against Charleston. It got better as we went. I feel like we ironed some things out. We got more confident. We started executing like we have been practicing. And overall, I think it was just a really good start for us, a confidence builder. We have our lineup kind of ironed out, and we're beginning to be more and more consistent and better at executing as a team.
And Jacqy, from your perspective, this was your first game of the season. Talk about your feelings going into the weekend and how you feel now getting ready for the second weekend. How do you feel the team did from your perspective last weekend?
I'd have to say that we actually did well. However, you could really tell that, especially on the first game, a lot of nerves got to a lot of people, just being in front of a bigger crowd and playing against somebody other than ourselves in practice. But I believe that after the weekend kept progressing, like we started playing more and more together in how we play in our own gym, so that was really exciting.
And from a player's perspective, talk about the weekend as a whole, because it wasn't just getting the season underway. You had a lot of new players, and you were able to kind of bond as a team. You were able to go to the beach on Sunday and kind of spend some time as the weekend went on. So how important was that to kind of mix all the veterans on the team with all the newcomers you have?
I definitely think that out of all my 3-4 years being here, this has been the most together team that I've been a part of. There's just nothing on the team that is going to come onto the court or anything like that. So just being this weekend just feels like we spend time with each other outside of practice and everything. So it's just really exciting to be able to make memories and still dominate this weekend.
And Coach, looking ahead to this weekend, you have kind of a step up in competition. You face obviously arch rival Clemson on Friday night, but you also face Furman and Winthrop, who are two very challenging in-state teams as well. We'll start with Clemson. Obviously, say no more when it comes to Clemson, but what have you seen from the team in practice this week to kind of give you a hint on what's to come this weekend?
I got to be honest. I think this week, and especially yesterday, are some of the best practices that we've ever had in my 5 years here. The competitiveness, the level that we're playing and executing is far and above what it was last week before we got to Charleston. Just the intensity and kind of we're exuding a humble confidence. I think we're beginning to realize that we're good and we're experienced, and we have, people on the second team challenging for spots on the first team, and it's keeping everybody not tense, but I feel like on their toes and at the top of their game, because they know that somebody else, they're hearing the footsteps, so to speak. So it's really awesome to have 17 healthy bodies. It's really, really good to have the kind of depth that we have in multiple positions. And all of that, I think, is, the product. It's produced the product of a high-level volleyball in our gym like I've never seen. And yesterday, Shonda was playing, our assistant coach, and she still plays at an extremely high level. At the end of practice, we met as a staff, and she said that felt like one of my professional team practices, just the level that we were playing at. So I wasn't the only one noticing that, and we just hope to keep doing that day in and day out throughout the season to get better and better.
And for this weekend coming up, you have probably one of your stiffer challenges to go from playing Clemson at 7 p.m. to kind of getting up early again for a 1 p.m. match against Furman, who is a very good team, NCAA tournament team last year. Talk about kind of the challenge of playing such a high-intensity match like Clemson and then coming back for a very good opponent like Furman.
Well, I think, like any coach probably looks at the rivalry matches in every sport can always go any way. Sometimes the best team doesn't always win those. I love the fact that we're in our home gym, that we're going to have our fans cheering us on. We're definitely the more experienced, more physical team, at least from what I've seen on video. But you can never take your arch rival for granted. They want to beat us as bad as we want to beat them, and sometimes that's all it takes. So I think it is a challenge. I think that regardless of the outcome tomorrow night, we have to be ready for a really good Furman team who went in and beat Auburn at Auburn last week. They're not to be taken lightly at all, and we've struggled against that team in the past because they're just such disciplined defenders and a good volleyball team in general. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Same thing with Winthrop. They're the smaller school in the state that would love to pick off USC, and we have to keep that in mind when we're out there respecting our opponents by giving them our best effort every time we step out on the court, because they want to come take it away from us. So I think it will be as much of a physical and mental challenge, a combination of those two things throughout the weekend, but a comfortability of being at home in front of our fans and in our gym that we're used to. So I think if we perform the way we're capable, physically, we have a really good shot at winning these matches, and that's the goal.
Jacqy, we'll wrap up with you. Talk about kind of your relationship to the Clemson rivalry, being an out-of-state girl. What does this weekend mean to you as far as getting to have Clemson on your home floor and kind of getting to prove to your in-state rivals that you guys are legit this year?
Definitely, it's really exciting being a senior, and this is our last chance to really just leave a legacy that we are the better school of South Carolina, and just making sure that everything that we worked on so far in preseason, 2-a-days, practice all this week, really comes forth during our first chance against Clemson.
All right, Jacqy, Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.